Welcome back to my Jets Connected franchise. Here it's going to be week 9. We are taking on the Miami Dolphins. We already played them once before in the season, and we ended up winning. They are struggling this year right now. They are 1-7 in this franchise, the polar opposite of the Patriots, who are 7-1. But they are doing well in real life. You know, they're showing that they're actually a pretty viable team right now. I mean, Ryan Tannehill is playing very well. Their defense seems to be playing well. They do have some good players, but their roster in the game isn't that great, so it makes sense why they're 1-7. Last episode, you know, we had a pretty good offensive effort against the Bears. Sam Darnold played well. If I'm not mistaken, he did throw an interception, but it was like 100% my fault. I shouldn't have even called that play. I don't know why I passed it in that situation. So that wasn't his bad. You know, that was not his fault at all. But here's a look at the offense. And then, of course, actually, another pretty big development is Tevin Coleman got injured for a pretty long time. He's out for 5 weeks. He's a captain of the offense. He played well while he was in, but he did get injured. What I was thinking about doing, since he is out for a pretty long time, what's his injury rating? Hold on, this kind of all depends on this. What is his injury rating? 82. So that's not great, but that's not actually too bad. I was thinking about potentially drafting a running back in this upcoming draft. I'm pretty sure I just re-signed Tevin Coleman, though, so it doesn't make too much sense, but maybe during the draft, I might throw him on the trade block and see what kind of offers we can get. Because honestly, at this point, I kind of regret trading for him, right? So he's a great running back, but I should have tried to keep this a little more realistic in the sense that, you know, I just keep whoever's on the Jets. Like, I kind of wish I still had Isaiah Crowell. I didn't really want to use him at the beginning of this, but I think it would have been cool to try to use him now. But it's alright, it's not that big of a deal. Tevin Coleman, still injured. He will be the starting running back, though, for the rest of this season whenever he can play again. But yeah, I think I am thinking about drafting one. I think it would be cool to develop a running back. I think I would have done that even if Isaiah Crowell was here. I probably still would have drafted a running back and maybe tried to ship him off. So let me know what you think about that. If you want me to keep Tevin Coleman for next year, maybe I can consider it, but I might still draft a running back and then start him just because I think it would be more fun that way. But yeah, here's a look at the offense, and then on the defensive side, this defense has been playing very, very well. We have some playmakers on this side of the ball, so it kind of makes sense. Morris Claiborne's playing with some confidence. He's been having a great season so far. I'm glad we got him. Brian Poole hasn't really, you know, stepped up that well. I mean, hasn't played badly, but like he's not really doing what I thought he would be doing. Morris Claiborne's playing a lot better. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Jamal Adams is playing well, but Marcus May, the biggest surprise for this team right now for me is Marcus May. He's been balling out. I'm very happy he is, you know, on this team right now. So before I get into this game against the Dolphins, I want to show you guys who I have scouted, and I kind of want to go through scouting with you. So currently, this is what the draft board looks like. I think I want to move this guy up, though. Hold on, that guy looks good, too. This guy's A, spectacular catch, B+ catching. I do want another wide receiver, so, I mean, Sherman Hannon looks great. A- short, B+ catching, and B+ medium route running. He's actually a late first rounder. I can probably move him back down. That's probably why I had him down here. He looks really good. I want to draft that guy at some point. We have 2 first-round draft picks. One is the 21st, one is the 22nd. So, I probably won't be able to get a lot of these guys. I'm sure this guy is an early first. Yeah, there's no chance. I don't think I'm going to really trade up in the draft. Kevin Banyard is a mid-first. I'll leave him around there. This free safety looks decent, but I don't really need a safety anymore. Maybe I'll draft a late-round safety. This corner doesn't really look that good. He is a late first-rounder, though. There's some potential there. I want this left tackle. He's a mid-first rounder. There's a chance I could trade up to the mid-first round. I feel like this guy should be my top prospect. Like, my top realistic prospect of going after. This left tackle doesn't look bad either. He's an early first rounder, though. I'll move him up on the board, but I don't think I'll be able to slide up to get him. And then Darren Sullivan, he's a mid-first rounder, so I'm going to move him. I'm just going to organize the board here. I just want to show you who I have on the board, really, if you guys want to, like, suggest other players that I could go after. So let me move these left guards up. Let me just organize this a little more. There's another another wide receiver here, Addison Hunt. Early first rounder. Yeah, okay, so there's no chance we get him. That actually is the guy I want to select. Okay, so that is the very, very good wide receiver. Okay, that's how it's going to go. Sherman Hannon still looks really good, but Addison Hunt looks phenomenal. Don't think he's really going to be able to, to be selected here from us. What about these guards? A late first round guard and a late first round guard. I'll leave those guys there. I'll reorganize this later. Decent looking left tackle in the fifth round. This corner doesn't look too bad in the fourth. Depends on his combine, obviously, but Margarito Thomas. Alright, and then there's a cornerback again down here. So I'm going to scout some other positions. I'll let you know what goes on. I scouted some quarterbacks here just because, I kind of want to back up. I'm not going to draft anybody to start over Darnold unless, next year Darnold just struggles and this guy has shown promise or something. Then maybe I'll start that player for a couple games or something. I don't know, but George Kerman is looking like a good draft pick right now. He's in the late 6th round, but he has B+ throw power. That's not perfect, but it's not too bad. B+ play action is actually really nice. And then B throw accuracy short isn't bad either. So he's looking like a really good 6th round draft pick. That's all I really spent my points on now. Is just quarterback. I don't want to, bother with any of the 1st round guys because it's not worth it to take a 1st round quarterback, especially since the Jets just drafted a 1st round quarterback. I don't even think I would go as far as taking a 2nd rounder. I would take a late first. What am I talking about? I would take a late round draft pick though, and George Kerman looks great. This Beckett Boobin guy doesn't look bad either, but I'm not really about the name, to be honest. Beckett Boobin. He fits this scheme, but he's not really a strong arm type player if you just look at him. He has decent throw power, but I kind of want the West Coast guy because that probably means he's kind of fast. That is all I wanted to do before I get into this game. So let's take on the Dolphins. Even though they are 1-7, they could easily still give us trouble. They have some good playmakers. Today, the New York Jets are taking on Mr. Hurricanes franchise team in the Miami Dolphins. So the Dolphins did lose arguably their best player in the offseason in Ndamukong Suh, but they did draft one of the best defensive backs in this last year's draft in Minkah Fitzpatrick. He's a versatile player. He can play safety. He can play corner. He is a very talented young player, so he should give the Jets some trouble today. Also, on the offensive side, Kenyon Drake is a great running back. Their wide receiver core is very good. Kenny Stills is one of the best deep threats in the NFL. Devontae Parker still has room to develop. Danny Amendola coming over from the Patriots is a good slot receiver. They have A.J. Derby at tight end. He's not fantastic, but they did draft Mike Gesicki, one of the best looking tight ends out of this past year's draft. Easily the most athletic, I'd say. He has, the athleticism of a wide receiver, really. He's also massive, can jump a mile. He's a very good player. And then on the defensive side, they have one of the best D-lines in the NFL. Even without Ndamukong Suh, they still have, Cameron Wake and William Hayes. They have a good secondary, some fast linebackers, so this could be a tough game. Here's a look at the AFC standings. The Patriots obviously leading the division like usual, but then the Jets are in 2nd. So let's get into this game here against the Dolphins. Tannehill on 1st and 10 hands it off to Kenyon Drake, but that's a great play there by Avery Williamson to bring down the running back out of Alabama for a loss of 3. It is now 3rd and 10 though. Tannehill has a lot of time to throw it, and A.J. Derby finds a gap in the zone and picks up 19 yards. It's going to be a 1st down for the Dolphins. It's 2nd and 10 though, around midfield for Tannehill, trying to find somebody open, drops back, throws a beautiful pass over the middle, but Danny Amendola cannot hold on to it after the hit with, or the collision with Jamal Adams. 3rd and 10 now for the Dolphins. Can they convert another 3rd and long? Let's see. Tannehill has a player wide open in this same spot as the last 3rd down conversion. This time though, it's Kenyon Drake on the the halfback wheel. 2nd and 6 now, nearing the red zone. Kenyon Drake takes the handoff up the middle, getting even closer to the red zone, picking up about 8 yards there, bringing him down to the 23-yard line. Under center is Tannehill. He drops back, play fake, goes to the running back, and that's a nice throw to Devontae Parker. He was able to form some separation against Tremaine Johnson. It makes sense. Devontae Parker is a good wide receiver in a man coverage. Kind of hard to cover him. 3rd and goal, though, for Tannehill, and that pass is just near no one. The only one near that was Darren Lee, really. He could have made a play to intercept that one, but the Dolphins would settle for a field goal. The first play of the game for the Jets on offense is a nice completion there to Robbie Anderson for a gain of about 11. Sam Darnold has a nice, confident throw over the middle. 1st and 10 now after that pass. Darnold hands it off to Elijah McGuire, who is currently in. Trucks by the safety. He had no chance of tackling Elijah McGuire, and he's able to pick up 7. It's going to be 3rd and 3, though, going with a short passing concept here. Robbie Anderson is open. He catches the pass, but he runs, before the line of scrimmage, or runs it back behind the line of scrimmage, I should have said, and the Jets are forced to punt it. 1st and 10 now for the Dolphins. Frank Gore, the ever-consistent veteran, with the 9-yard carry there. Of course, formerly with the Colts and the 49ers, more famously known with the 49ers, of course. Tannehill goes with a play action, delivers a bullet to the outside to Danny Amendola. He's a very quick receiver. Brian Poole might be faster than him, speed-wise, but Danny Amendola is definitely much quicker. 1st and 10 now. Ryan Tannehill finds Kenny Stills, his number 1 receiver, I'd say. He might be playing the number 2 receiver position. I'm not sure, but he's probably the best wide receiver on this team. He's able to pick up 9 yards. The play fake goes to the running back again, and Jamal Adams completely bit on the play action. If you saw me there, I user Jamal Adams, and I wasn't even near Ryan Tannehill because honestly, when I ran up and blitzed, I started looking at who I was supposed to cover, and then it was just a really bad play. So AJ Derby catches the touchdown pass. That was completely my fault. Jamal Adams would have played that a ton better if I, just had let him play, with the computer. 1st and 10 though, Sam Darnold can't find anything open, so he scrambles up around the Dolphins logo and is able to pick up 10 yards along with a first down. Actually, no, that was actually 2nd and inches. But Jeremy Hill was able to pick up the first down. Now, Sam Darnold throws this one directly to Kiko Alonso. I think Darnold thought that Alonso was going to keep progressing over the middle of the field, and that slant would have been open for a second, but the veteran linebacker did not do that. 3rd and 2 now for the Dolphins. That's another confident, nice throw by Ryan Tannehill to AJ Derby. A missed tackle there from Marcus May, I believe, allows Derby to go down to the 2-yard line. That should have been stopped way before that, but the missed tackle did not help. And then on the very next play, Ryan Tannehill hits AJ Derby for his 2nd touchdown pass and AJ Derby's 2nd touchdown reception of the day. 2nd and 5, Elijah McGuire running very well right now. Fights with number 93. I can't read who that is. I think that might be Noah Spence. He fights with him, but is able to pick up the first down. 1st and 10 now. The Jets really need to get something going here if they want to stay in this game. Darnold on the bootleg. Throws this one to Terrell Pryor, the wide receiver, or the quarterback converted to wide receiver, converted to tight end. Doesn't make too much sense, but that's what happened in this franchise right now. 1st and 10. Jermaine Kearse is wide open on this play. If you go back and watch that, he was so open, but Elston comes up with the sack. That was a huge play there from the Dolphins player. 3rd and 12 now. Darnold trying to maneuver in the pocket, find somebody open. He was really just waiting on Robbie Anderson to get between those two players on the Dolphins, but it just never developed. A great punt there by Lachlan Edwards brings the Dolphins to the 1-yard line, but that is good blocking by the Dolphins for Frank Gore, and he's able to pick up like 2 yards, 3 yards, just give him a little bit of breathing room. Now the handoff goes to Frank Gore again, makes a nice cut to the outside, good vision from him, and he's able to pick up about 3 more yards, making this a 3rd and very manageable. It's 3rd and 4. Out of the gun is Ryan Tannehill trying to find somebody to throw the ball to. He has Amendola, but Amendola does not go, forward too much further after where he caught the pass, so they have to punt. It's going to be 2nd and 10. The handoff goes to Elijah McGuire, who again, is having a pretty good day right now. 4 for 27, playing pretty well in lieu, of Tevin Coleman. But 3rd and 5. Darnold throws the pass to Jordan Leggett. There really wasn't anything open downfield, and really the only read there for Darnold was those 2 crossing routes. It did not work, but they are going for it here on 4th and 4. Jordan Leggett called for the pass, so Darnold trusted him, and he just did not attempt to catch the football. It's actually almost intercepted, so now the Dolphins have great field position right now. It's 2nd and 4. Tannehill has a player open in the flats. It's Devontae Parker, and he is able to get 10 yards along with a first down. The next play here for the Dolphins, a play fake. Never mind, it's actually a handoff just to Frank Gore. Making a nice cutback, making some nice spin moves. You can still see that the veteran running back, still has it. 2nd and 1. Jets bringing a pretty hefty blitz right now. It's going to be a read option to Ryan Tannehill, and Avery Williamson reads that very, very well and tackles the quarterback for a loss of 2. 3rd and 4 now for the Dolphins. They're trying to set up a screen, but a couple players for the Jets are just in pursuit of that one. Leonard Williams to start it off, and he's able to bring down Kenyon Drake, I believe. That could have been Frank Gore, I'm not too sure. But 1st and 10. The Jets are going with that play that should have worked earlier, but, Darnold got sacked. And this time it works pretty well, picking up almost a first down. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 2, though. Jeremy Hill in the game right now, running the ball up the middle. That looked like a clear first down, but I think that's Noah Spence again coming up with the tackle. That was a great play by him. So the Jets punted the ball again, 2nd and 2 for the Dolphins, and that play is going nowhere. Avery Williamson in the backfield pretty much immediately. 3rd and 4, though. Jets really just trying to get a stop. They need some points for sure in this game, and Devontae Parker is not helping that out at all. Avery Williamson reacted a little late to the route by Devontae Parker, and he could not get back there in time. So it's going to be 1st and 10. Tannehill trying to find somebody open, and he does. He finds Devontae Parker. I definitely think Trumaine Johnson could have broke a little harder on that one, but maybe he didn't want to risk, a deep touchdown or anything. Who knows? 1st and 10, though. Tannehill has another player open, pretty much like the same play, just to the other side. This time Kenny Stills catches it and is almost able to pick up a first down. There are only 34 seconds left before halftime. Tannehill finds AJ Derby on this one. The Jets just do not have an answer right now for the Dolphins. 239 yards and 2 touchdowns for Tannehill. That would be a pretty good game if that's what he ended the game with. But he's doing this before halftime. AJ Derby helping him out a lot too. Some missed tackles as well by the Jets. Just the Jets can't do anything. Their defense looks terrible. Looks like a college defense trying to play against an NFL team. And just again, there was just no one in pursuit of that one. I think Avery Williamson or Darren Lee, one of the linebackers, whoever I was like the only one that could have made a play on that pass, and they just didn't, so we're going to go into halftime here. The Jets are down huge. It's 27-0, but let's take a look at a couple of games here. The Bears are playing the Bills. It's 17-14. Both these teams aren't, doing too well with their records, but this game is pretty close. Josh Allen has 2 touchdowns. Mitchell Trubisky has 2 as well, and then Allen Robinson and Kelvin Benjamin each caught a touchdown from their respective quarterbacks. And then the next game we're going to look at is going to be the Lions versus the Vikings. This game is not very close at all right now. 17-0 for the Vikings. Kirk Cousins over 100 yards before halftime. And Dalvin Cook averaging 5.2 yards a carry, having a pretty good game. And Matthew Stafford struggling again. 53 yards and a pick. That's not good at all. Now the Buccaneers versus the Carolina Panthers. This game is 10-8, so it looks like either the Buccaneers got a safety or they went for 2 or something. I'm not sure what happened. Christian McCaffrey, though, having a pretty good game. 57 yards and a touchdown so far for him. But let's get into the second half of this one here. This game is not going well for the Jets right now. They do start off with the ball, and that's a nice handoff there to Jeremy Hill. Good blocking by the Jets offensive line. Hill is not running the ball too badly right now, 7 for 24. It's not terrible, but 2nd and 4 now. Play fake goes to Jeremy Hill, and Sam Darnold checks it down to Enunwa. Again, even while I was editing this, I don't really see anyone open downfield. Enunwa was just the safer option there for sure. 1st and 10, trying to get something going downfield, but again, the Dolphins are just locking down. They're playing very, very good football right now, the secondary is. It's only a 4-yard completion there to Jordan Leggett. 2nd and 6, empty backfield for Sam Darnold. Has a player open underneath, but decides not to throw it to him. Darnold definitely did not expect Minkah Fitzpatrick to react that quickly, and, Fitzpatrick just turned around at the perfect time to pick that one off. It was great coverage by the rookie, but still, that should have been an interception right there. But anyway, it was great coverage by the rookie, but I just don't think Sam Darnold thought he was going to make a play on that one. 2nd and 10 now. Tannehill dropping back to pass and has another pass that should have been picked off. That could have potentially been a pick 6 for Tremaine Johnson, but it did not go that way. 3rd and 10 now. Tannehill looking for someone open. Just a whole lot of time for him to throw the ball, and then just has a player deep down the field. I have no idea where the safeties went, but somehow Kenny Stills got behind the safeties. I mean, he does that a lot. He's a great deep threat. I said it earlier. That was just a huge completion there for the Dolphins, and now Frank Gore trying to, pound this one in, but Darren Lee having none of that. He's having a good game so far. If there's any bright spot to take away, really, it's Darren Lee. Again, Darren Lee setting the edge instantly and not allowing Kenyon Drake to go anywhere. 5 rushes for 8 yards now for Kenyon Drake. 3rd and goal for the Dolphins. Tannehill dropping back to pass, trying to find somebody open. Finds Kenyon Drake, and he's able to pick up about 8, but not enough for the touchdown. Tannehill, though, 311 yards, 3 touchdowns. Having an insane game right now. Elijah McGuire takes this handoff. Another decent chunk of yards. 6 rushes for 29 yards for him. About 5 yards a carry. 3rd and 3 now for the Jets. They really just need to do something here. Trying to, convert this one. Jordan Leggett bounces off 2 tacklers at the same time and, catches his balance. Does step out of bounds, but, he picks up the first down first. Jermaine Kearse going in motion. The Jets are doing this play again, and that is almost a wonderful play there by Kiko Alonso. I'm pretty sure that was Kiko Alonso, but Jermaine Kearse is able to hold on to the football and get a first down. 1st and 10 now for the Jets. Another play where it's just a quick check down, this time to Robbie Anderson, but looked like Fitzpatrick just kind of underestimated Anderson's speed or something because he just gave him the outside, but this will lead to a 4th and 8. This drive would eventually come down to this, and Robbie Anderson catches the football, but only for a gain of 6. So the Jets have to turn the ball over again. This is just not a good game right now for the Jets at all. Tannehill has a player open on the outside. That is a wonderful pass. Honestly, if that was thrown to Danny Amendola, Brian Poole could have easily turned around and picked that one off, but that was really only put where Danny Amendola could have caught it, and that's just another nice pass. The seam routes have been wide open. They just keep calling them whenever the Jets go with cover 3. I don't know if the Dolphins just know what defense they're in or what's going on, but it's just not working right now. 2nd and 10, that is a great play there by Darren Lee. 10 tackles and a sack for the, young linebacker. Very speedy, of course. 3rd and 20 now. 3rd and a mile for the Dolphins. Let's see what happens. Tannehill has a pretty clean pocket, and that player is so open. Kenny Stills. I said it earlier, how good of a deep threat he is, and it just pays off in this game a couple times, really. We are going to take another look at this one, though. I don't know how Tremaine Johnson got beat so badly, and that's how he did it. He literally just watched Kenny Stills do his little, cutback move. He didn't even try. He literally just watched him, and then Kenny Stills was just way too fast and got around him. Terrible play there by, Tremaine Johnson. 1st and 10, though. This game is pretty much over, to be honest. There's still another quarter to go, but still, it's like 37-0. It would take a miracle for the Jets to come back into this one. It's going to be a 4th and 3. you know, just trying to get something going here. Darnold did have the running back there wide open. To be honest, I just kind of just didn't look that way. That's just me. Usually that route isn't too open, so I just kind of neglected it. But now the Dolphins have the football back. That's nice running there by Kenyon Drake, able to fight through some contact. He's not having a great game right now, but that is one nice handoff. And then, you know, the Dolphins pick up a field goal, so now it's going to be 40-0. This is probably the longest pass of the Jets so far, and it comes in the fourth quarter. That was a nice completion, but where was that earlier? 1st and 10 now after that one. Darnold trying to find somebody open. Has a player wide open, and that's who he's going to throw it to. That's a nice pass, but that is a great play by the safety. And Jordan Leggett cannot hold on to it. Look at the points allowed so far this season. The Dolphins are almost at the end of the NFL, and so far they've let up none right now to the Jets. And this play here, I slow this one down because look at the break by the linebacker. You'll see him in a second. He breaks at the same time as the tight end. He pretty much, I think, ran that route better than Jordan Leggett did. I'm not sure how that even happened. It's okay, though. It's whatever. Sam Darnold has a player wide open, just lofts this one to make sure it gets completed. Didn't want to try to bullet this one and just overthrow it. That was probably their best play of the game. I know, you know, before it was a pretty nice one to Jermaine Kearse, but that was a well-executed play. This one is in traffic, and it gets tipped up, and Minkah Fitzpatrick comes down with the pick. Not a good decision to throw that one. I think Jermaine Kearse was open underneath, but they're just trying to take some kind of, you know, risk to try to get back into this game. Obviously not to get back into this game, really. It pretty much would never happen, but just to get some points, really. And again, the Dolphins offense near the end of the NFL, but they've put up over 400 yards today, nearing on 450. That is a nice third down stop, though, for the Jets defense. Just trying to take something away from this game, really. The Jets do have the ball back, just trying not to get shut out, honestly. Darnold has his favorite receiver open there in Robbie Anderson, creating separation. That was probably the best play of the game. I'm going to keep saying this. And, you know, Anderson's just so surprised that he actually caught that pass, and it was a nice pass that he just kind of stays frozen on the field. 1st and goal, though. Darnold throws another interception. Okay, I can explain this one. I just hit the wrong button. It honestly isn't more to that. I was trying to throw it to Jermaine Kearse. I think he was the B receiver, but I accidentally hit the bumper, and it just didn't work. So the Dolphins just chewed a ton of clock, and they got another field goal. But Davis Webb is now in. He checks into the game for the last drive, the potential last drive for the Giants. Nope, not the Giants, the Jets. Davis Webb completes his first pass as a Jet. Also shifts the protection there after seeing the blitz by the safety. He's able to throw a strike to Robbie Anderson, who gets a lot of room now. The cornerback there, the defensive back, just overcommitted to swatting that one. And, you know, Robbie Anderson is super fast, so he was able to get a lot of yards on that one. Picked up like 45 yards. 2nd and 20, though. Davis Webb did take a sack on the next play. Has a nice completion here to Jordan Leggett. That was a pretty nice pass, too. Nice catch. You know, Davis Webb's looking decent. Maybe he could, you know, potentially be the starter next week. Who knows? But it's going to be 4th and 7, and those hopes go down the drain because that pass was horrible. That pass was supposed to be to Jermaine Kearse. I show a replay of this one as well because this was, like, so off target. This was supposed to go to Jermaine Kearse. The player that it's kind of following was where this ball was supposed to go. Obviously, he wasn't open. No one was really open on this play, but I thought Jermaine Kearse could have came down with that pass. But it was really badly thrown. So that is going to end the massacre here. I think it ends at 43-0. Tannehill is a perfect game. Sam Darnold pretty much has the polar opposite of that. Under 200 yards, 4 interceptions, 5 as a team. Not a good game. Jeremy Hill and Elijah McGuire each got 8 carries, but I couldn't really run the ball too much because we were down the whole game. Robbie Anderson, 130 yards and 8 catches. He had a great game. Some other players played decently. Not too many sacks were let up. Brennan Shell still let up 2, which isn't great. Darren Lee, though, the best player on the team for this one. He was the best of the worst, really, so can't really be too impressed. But, I mean, 13 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and a sack is a very good game. Minkah Fitzpatrick has 3 interceptions this game. That was a terrible performance. Hopefully we can bounce back next week. But thanks very much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.